Here we go. And bro, Marner trade Marchand, bro. Nothing's gonna be left until tomorrow. And then Kuzmenko just re-signed in LA. Like, I literally said it was gonna be crazy tonight. Marchand just re-signed in Florida. Marner just got traded to Vegas. And Kuzmenko just re-signed in LA. What's the point of tomorrow? I know. I think a lot of crazy shit's going to happen tomorrow, guys. I'll be live all day. But and Steven Lorentz just re-signed in Toronto. 3 years. Steven Lorentz. Steven Lorentz just re-signed for 3 years, chat. Thank you, Jen, for the channel membership. Craziness. So Stevie Lorentz just re-signed. You guys can hear me all right, though? W's in the chat if you can hear me. All right, let's see what Lorentz signed for here. I'm literally parked in just a random parking lot getting you guys the breaking news here. So Lorentz, $1.35 million per year. I don't even know why it had to be that much for 3 years, man. Whatever. I love Stevie. It's fine. Not going to complain about 1.35. And Provorov's going to be re-signing Columbus. Wow. Okay, so let me get this straight. Marner to Vegas. Kuzmenko stays in LA. Provorov staying in Columbus. Lorentz staying in Toronto. Marchand staying in Florida. Unbelievable. We got 300 in the chat, guys. Give me your thoughts. I know a lot's going down. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to just read everything that's going down and try to get you the details on this Toronto trade. It's insane. You guys can hear me all right, though? It's raining. It's like pouring rain outside. All right, let's see here. So Steven Lorentz, as I said, $1.35 million per year for 3 years. We still don't know the details on the return for the Mitch Marner. I had talked about it earlier, saying I thought it would be Nicholas Waugh and a draft pick. So I'm not going to complain about the Lorentz. Cap it, 1.35. Is it a steal? Definitely not. But it's about market value for the guy. But the fact that Marchand is staying in Florida is kind of nuts. But it's a 6-year deal. It is a 6-year deal. So not 4, not 5, a 6-year deal for Marchand in Florida. It's going to be the league needs to talk about the league investigating Vegas. Bro, the league needs to own their shit on this one. How can you sign a 37-year-old to 6 years? Explain that one to me. Explain that. You're telling me Brad Marchand's going to be playing at 42 and 43 years old? Oh, my God. This league right now. Oh, my God. This is crazy. All right, I'm trying to get the Marner return here. You guys, we're all just having a great old grand laugh here. Okay, guys, I go live wherever. Just stop in a random parking lot? Sure. Let's pull up the comments here. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't yet. Elias, thanks for becoming a member. Kind of sounds like the Tanev contract. Well, Chris Tanev's contract goes to about 40, 39, 40. Like Marchand is going to 42, 43. But guys, how do we feel right now? How do we feel? because Marner's gone. This actually feels weird. Like, guys, I think Marner's not coming back. Are we like, do we need like the pinch me moment kind of thing? I'll say this, guys. I'm gonna post a video, a full-fledged video with some of my compilation reactions of the rage moments, all that stuff. But I'll tell you straight here. It never should have been like this. When Marner got drafted 4th overall, I was pumped. I've met the guy a bunch of times, have signed jersey. I was a huge, huge Marner fan before COVID, for sure. Go back. I was more actually on criticizing Nylander for a bit there. And after watching him in the Columbus and Montreal series, it turned. And it turned for a lot of people. But it truly turned because Columbus and Montreal, 2 teams that should not have been in the same conversation as Toronto at that period of time. And I understand the pandemic. I understand all that. But excuses. A guy that basically threatened to sit out and go to Switzerland so he could be paid $11 million, put up a handful of secondary assists in those 2 series. So that's why it's become so bad with Mitch Marner. Bruce with the $5 donut says Bob McKenzie says it's a 1-for-1 deal. Marner for Waugh. Let's see. I thought maybe it was going to be a draft pick involved, but yeah, why is all this shit happening right now? Like, chill. We need craziness tomorrow. Oh my, yeah. Bob McKenzie says it's 1-for-1. Chat, 1-for-1. Nick Waugh for Mitch Marner. At least they got something. Yeah, I mean, investigate the shit out of them. What do you guys think, chat? Pontus Holmberg was not tendered a qualify. Wow. Pontus Holmberg not qualified to 10. Wow. Wow. He was not tendered a qualifying offer. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Marner was locking for free. Everyone knew that. I guess I'll put it this way. I think how I feel about this situation right now, by the way, shout out to Jeremiah, shout out to the Sports Beard. Go subscribe to the Sports Beard. I just think it sucks. Like, you know when you want to tell someone you told them so? I just hate it because I don't want to tell anyone I told them so. I really don't. It bothers me because you look the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it's like you felt this was coming. I said it after the Montreal series. After the Montreal series, they should have 100% traded him. They should have 100% traded him, and they didn't. Ehlers would be such a good player for the Leafs. I mean, I don't think he's the style of player the Leafs want or need, but if it came at a reasonable price, it is now confirmed. It is now confirmed. We got 4 into the chat, guys. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't yet. Yeah, I mean, that's the details. So it's Nick Waugh to Toronto. So basically, July 1 is going to be fun. Tomorrow is going to be fun, chat. But a lot of stuff is happening right now. Ivan Provorov confirmed 7-year contract with the Blue Jackets, $8.5 million per. Wow, shit just keeps getting done. It's insane. I can't believe Kuzmenko only stayed in LA for a year. I thought he was going to try to get a long-term deal finally. This feels really weird, though. I'm not going to lie. I think more and more about it. It's just like, I can't believe it got to this point. I really can't believe that they got basically nothing for him. They were going to lose him for nothing, but it just sucks because, like I said, for the last 3-4 years, I've been saying, trade this guy. Before the no movement clause, I was begging this team to trade. And Brendan Shanahan, I can say it now, he's not part of the organization, completely shattered this. Completely bottled this process. Completely. And it sucks. It sucks because he should have not got attached. He should have traded him while he had the value. There was deals on the table. Big deals. Massive deals on the table. And I got told I'm crazy for wanting to trade Marner. I'm crazy, but anyways. At least Stevie Lorentz, the hometown boy, is staying. Eh? Oh, boy. Anyways, guys, I'm going to read some comments here. So if you guys have some thoughts, get into the comments. What's up, Adam? Timmy, what are you talking about? Who walked him out? Here we go. Talk about boneheads. Buddy, you're a bonehead for that comment. Who walked him out? Is this like a little kid? Is this like a little baby? He's a professional hockey player. Who walked him out? Getting paid millions of dollars. And you're talking about we walked him out. All right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, woe is me. Like, are we actually serious? Don't get it twisted. I don't feel bad for the guy. I don't feel bad for the guy for one bit. He's laughing. $12 million a year in Vegas, 8 years. He's laughing. Yeah, Ivan, that's what I'm talking about. So many pro athletes and superstars and big time hockey players get criticism all the time. You think guys in Edmonton right now, like you think guys in other cities act like this? Again, I'm going on the flip side here. It just didn't work. The fans can feel how they feel because management didn't step in and do what they needed to do at the time. Brendan Shanahan, as I said, 3 or 4 years ago, should have stepped in and said, it's not working. This player could bring a lot of assets back for us. Let's make the trade and restructure this team. It should not have taken close to a decade to realize this structure was not working. As soon as you lost that Montreal series, it should have been, okay, we need to rethink things. And winning that first round in 2023 against the Lightning delayed things. I can tell you that for free. If they lose in 2023 against Tampa in that first round, there's moves. I can't believe there's still people existing that feel bad for Marner. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, do you owe him something? Are you on his payroll? Because there's no way you should be feeling bad for Mitch Marner, who just got paid $12 million a year for 8 years and gets to wipe his hands clean of this. If you're in that crowd, you need to reevaluate because Marner's not going to do anything for you. I can tell you that for free. Yeah, Gong Show. I've heard that too. That Dubas was going to make the move. Yep. Gaming Center. It's Marner to Vegas, Nicholas Watt to Toronto. It's as simple as that. Yeah, Marner is going to have a fun time with Eichel. That's for sure. But yeah, they definitely have a glaring need for a top 6 forward. I think that's going to come, guys. If you guys don't follow me on X on Twitter, I'd appreciate it. It's at Hot Take Hockey on Twitter or just my name, John Viveiros _. I've been talking about Brandon Carlo's name's been out there. And I'm not saying the Leafs should or could trade him or should trade him. I should say that. But under a $4 million cap hit, 6'5" right shot defenseman. We just saw what Nick Hague and Kevin Ball got signed for. Kevin Ball in Calgary and Nick Hague in Nashville. The Leafs could get a legit stud up front for Carlo. If they feel that they can do all right without him, because, again, scoring ended up being the problem again. So we'll see. I do think they're going to try to go after Besser, but I think a lot of other teams obviously are in on him. Marchand's off the table, guys, so accept that. But I will say, this is how I see the lines right now. So the Toronto Leafs today acquired Matias Maccelli. I would look at this as a structure. early lineup structure. I think they're going to try to move off Kampf or Yarncrow, so keep an eye on that, guys. I can't see them running it back with those two guys on the roster. So they're either going to bury one of those guys, a buyout, or simply a trade. So Kampf and Yarncrow for me are out of the equation because I think they're going to figure that one out. Nick Robertson, I think, is going to get moved, so keep an eye on that. So your top line, let's just say Domi's up there because I think Domi and Matthews have had chemistry in the past. So Matthew Nyes with Austin Matthews and Max Domi. Second line, Matias Michelli, who you just acquired from Utah, with John Tavares and William Nylander. Third line, this is where it gets interesting and it can go in so many different directions. But I'll put it this way for now: Bobby McMahon, Nicholas Waugh, and Scott Laughton. Okay. Is it good? No. But those are, I would say, third line NHL caliber guys. I just think there needs to be a better mix there. But McMahon, Waugh, Laughton. And then your fourth line, probably some combination of, if Pacioretty comes back, maybe. But Steven Lorentz is probably in there. I think you give Alex Steves maybe a chance. And then it gets really interesting because I don't know who they're bringing back. They didn't tender Holmberg. So we're going to see what happens with Pontus Holmberg, but he might not be back based on what we're seeing. Yeah, Brandon Tanev might be in there. Jacob Bernard-Docker didn't get qualified. Yeah, that one's interesting. I will say, guys, we do need to remind ourselves, just because a player didn't get qualified, and Richard, I'm even saying this for myself, just because a player doesn't get qualified does not mean that they're gone from the team. Some teams don't qualify the player either for the opportunity for them to look elsewhere or because they don't like what the qualifying offer could bring. Maybe they want term. Maybe they want to add the guy for a couple of years, whatever it may be. What's up, Greg? What's up, Luca? Guys, we have 500 in the chat. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Craziness, guys. Craziness. But yeah, my thoughts, I mean, it sucks. It sucks that it came to this. I think anyone celebrating this until we see the next moves are kind of missing the plot, I feel like. We got to wait to see what the Leafs do next. Because if you lose Mitch Marner and you don't do anything else, right? So just a recap from Leafs latest in terms of what's just happened for the Toronto Maple Leafs here in the last few minutes. So Mitch Marner traded after being signed to an 8-year deal, $12 million per year. Nick Waugh is coming to Toronto, it seems like, according to Bob McKenzie. Steven Lorentz has signed a 3-year deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs for $1.35 per. Brad Marchand is staying in Florida for 6 years. Pontus Holmberg did not receive a qualifying offer and will become a free agent. Dennis Hildeby, Ronnie Hirvonen, Matthew Nyes, Topi Niemela, Nick Robertson, and William Villeneuve will all receive qualifying offers. So Holmberg is the odd man out. And just some of the other signings that I talked about. Ekblad staying in Florida for that $6.1 million each year is crazy. Provorov staying in Columbus, $8.5 per. And Kuzmenko staying in LA for $4.3 million for 1 year. But yeah, Marchand just signed a deal in Florida to keep him in the National Hockey League until 43 years old. Can you believe that, guys? You think Marchand's going to be skating around at 43? There's no way he plays the last year or two of that contract. There's no way. Anyways, it's crazy. So basically, if that my math serves me right on what Freeman's reporting on, Marchand's deal is going to be in around $5 million per, as I predicted. But I thought it was going to be a 4-year deal to stay in Florida. The fact is, that shows that Marchand didn't just give in to Florida's because he just wanted to stay in Florida and run it back. It shows that Marchand said, hey, you want me at a lower cap hit, you better just start throwing years at me. And it clearly Florida put up 6 years, which is really suspect. 6 years for a guy that's 37? Like, how is that even allowed? Wow. Anyways, guys, as I said, I'll be live tomorrow all day. I'm probably going to come back live again later tonight. I have a couple meetings for tomorrow because I'm also doing a Bleacher Report show tomorrow, guys. So I have a couple meetings here in the next little bit. So I got to hop on those meetings in the next 15, 20 minutes. And then we'll see. There's a possibility they also trade Evan Rodriguez, like Florida. I've heard that in terms of the Marchand signing, them keeping everybody in terms of Marchand, Ekblad, and of course, why am I drawing a blank? Ekblad's was what, 6.1? And then what was the other signing that just happened? Sam Bennett, sorry. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. So Sam Bennett was 8x8. Marchand was, well, we don't know the details exactly, but it's about $5 million per over 6 years. And then Ekblad was 6.1 per. So you literally got Ekblad and Marchand for about $11 million combined. And Mitch Marner's making $12 million. Isn't it ironic? And not with Toronto. Anyways, it is pouring outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that it's pouring outside here, but it is coming down. Arashi, I could see Lawton as the fourth line center, but I think the Leafs wanted more out of him, you know? So the Leafs working on re-signing Pacioretty. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, I think Drager's on it. Honestly, I got to give credit to Drager. It's like he's back in his prime, reporting everything pretty quickly here. Yeah, so we'll see. But it does sound like the Leafs are going to be upgrading in terms of a trade, chat. They might be going into free agency and trying to get, like I said, a Besser or someone like that. But I think there's a real possibility they do go the trade route and trade one of the defensemen. But as I said, I think there's that conversation of Michelli in the picture now, which he'd play on that second line with Nylander. If Tavares is the center, I think that's... Everyone forgets Tavares scored 38 goals last year. It's not a bad problem to have. But there's definitely going to be quite a few NHL free agents left tomorrow. It's just a couple big names coming off the board right now. And Alex on Twitter, who I follow, he makes the great point. Like, you talk about from 2017, I mean, he says 2021. I wouldn't say 2021. But from 2017 to 2019, Marner was one of my favorite players to watch. I just thought the excitement, the passion, like, I appreciated that. But my thing is when you ask for a lot of money and you go about things the way you did, and then it just doesn't work out, you don't perform to that expectation or don't perform to reflect your contract, then I have a huge issue with it. And I think that's where everyone kind of turned on him. It's not about him not playing big in certain games. It's about how he went about things. And that is, like, people don't understand the difference. If you're not in Toronto or in the fan base, you could be blind to that and just say, oh, these fans are stupid. They just ran out a 100-point player. And it's not that. It's not that. It's called accountability. It's called expectations. And it's called greed. Money, this is not a hockey thing. This is not a sports thing. This is a life thing. Money makes people greedy. It's simple. And as you just saw here, Toronto didn't even get an opportunity to bring him back because it got so toxic. $12 million per year over 8 years. Whether the tax is a factor here or the market or whatever it is, it got so bad that the Leafs couldn't even retain him regardless of money or not. So it's funny because the whole problem originated because of greed and money. But by the end, it had nothing to do with money because the Leafs were willing to pay him $13 million during the year, $13.5 million. And then it got to the point where Marner's camp was inviting a bunch of teams to come to meetings. LA was going to meet him in person. A few other teams were going to meet him in person. Toronto got an invite. And from everything that I've heard is Toronto was debating on even attending the meetings. They were probably not going to attend. And at the end of the day, look what happens. He actually signs with Vegas for $12 million per year. We were talking about 13.5, $14 million all year. Ends up being 12 with Vegas. Let's see. Lawrence, you think Quinn Hughes gets traded at some point? Besser to the Sharks? We'll see. I think if Besser could get paid big tomorrow, especially with all the names coming off the board. But yeah, guys, it's crazy. Mitch Marner. And yes, Marchand stays in Florida. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stay here for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to hop off because I got to catch a couple meetings. But I definitely wanted to just go live and chat with you guys. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to go live again later. But of course, this happens while I'm out and about. It always does. I was literally like at the office and then catching up on things, talking to people. And I literally go for a drive, a 1 hour drive, and all this news drops mid 1 hour drive. So I'm halfway from destination A to destination B, parked in a parking lot because we got to chat. We, of course, got to chat. So it's one of those things, guys. Sports are a complicated thing, and I think this is one of the messier ones I've seen, to be honest. Got to fire up the car here, get the AC going. Hot take, Besser to LA, Oilers to Carolina, blended, says in the chat. I'm trying to read comments in the chat right now. Well, yeah, Joe Fisher, obviously the Leafs have some cap flexibility still, right? I think they're going to try to get off the contracts of Yarncrow and Kampf, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to ask chat right now. In order, who do you think are the three most likely teams to win the Stanley Cup? And do you have Vegas in that top three with Florida? It's crazy. We're still going to have a crazy time in the live stream tomorrow, guys, but it is nuts that all this shit's happening. I can't believe I literally said it a few weeks ago too. I literally said it a few weeks ago. It's actually so funny. I literally said they were maybe going to keep all three if they pulled their shenanigans, and they did it. They actually did it. Crazy. I had that feeling, but I was like, maybe not. And they did it. Florida pulled it off. Feels very weird, but it's sad, but it's anyways. I think I'm gonna it's one of those things, it's a 24-hour rule too. Later on, I might just get home and just be in a pissy mood. I might be like Leon, guys. I might be like Drysdale. I might just be in a pissy mood later. Do you guys want an all-time rant against Mitchie Mouse? I might do it. I don't know. Crazy. Oh, yeah, Jumbo TV. Oh, yeah. During the year, the Leafs were down to extend him. But, yeah. You know who I blame ultimately? Like I said, I blame the prior management, Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan, for putting that no movement clause in that contract. Or if it was Pridham, I don't know who was involved in making that decision, but whoever decided to put no movement clause on the back end of that Marner contract is essentially to blame for all of this. Because I know for a fact Trey Living would have traded him a year and a half ago. 1,000,000%. If he didn't have a no movement clause, Mikko Rantanen would be a Leaf right now. Woo! Imagine Mikko Rantanen would be a Leaf right now if Dumbo didn't sign him with a no movement clause. It's just like it's pouring rain. I'm just in a random parking lot, just thinking about. If only people knew how to listen. After that Montreal series, it should have been see you later. Nah, Rocks and draws. I think it's still going to be busy. You have to keep in mind, it's not just about free agent signings, trades. I think there's going to be big trades that go down tomorrow. So you got to keep that in mind. But again, guys, please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get to, there's 500 people in here. So if we can get more likes, that'd be great. But yeah, and it seems it's just going to be Nicholas Waugh coming to Toronto and Marner going to Vegas, as far as we know. Like, I don't think there's going to be any other details unless maybe a draft pick's in there, but I think it's just player for player. All right. But I'll be live early tomorrow morning. I hope you guys join. Probably before 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want some great coverage on the trade, signings, some of the buzz, I'll talk about some more stuff later. But literally everything that just happened right now is kind of what I was hearing outside of the Marchand one was like an interesting one because I thought Marchand was actually coming back. I just didn't think Ekblad was. That was the whole thing. I said it yesterday on the vid, and I was like, the Leafs could still go after Marchand, but I have a feeling he's going to stay or might stay. But yeah, once they sign Ekblad, I was like, oh, maybe he actually does reach July 1st. But of course, Marchand doesn't reach July 1st either. So, anyways, yeah, Murat, that's the only other one that I've heard buzz on that hasn't happened yet or nothing's happened around. Is I've heard that a lot of teams are calling on Jordan Kyrou, and Montreal being one of them. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, we'll see if Kyrou goes to Montreal. Yeah, Ben, good to see you. Everyone, if I missed you guys, yeah, Jake, I'll be live before 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So I'll be live in the morning. Mark, thank you for the kind words. Mark Lazon. If I didn't get back to you guys, just reach out to me on social media. I have X, like Twitter. I have Instagram. So reach out. We'll see what happens. But I hope I'll see you guys. If I do go live later, I'll let you guys know on YouTube and on Twitter. I'll announce it. I might go live later tonight, like closer to midnight, because sometimes some things happen around midnight. And then if not, I will be live tomorrow morning for Free Agent Day. So I hope you guys join us. One of the biggest streams of the year. There's still there's still like 70 plus NHL caliber free agents. Usually there's a good percentage signed July 1. I think there's actually more than 70, but I'm thinking of the list I put together of guys that played significant games last year, and in terms of UFAs. But now there's more guys that didn't get tendered. And then obviously there's trades that are going to go down tomorrow. So you guys are going to want to join for the big trades as well. So anyways, guys, lots of love. Hope you guys enjoy the evening. I'll talk more about it. I'll probably post another video in the next few hours. So keep an eye on that. We'll talk soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Peace.